Starter situation, kind of where you're at right now on that.
Sunday, I don't know yet. We're going to get through the first two, and then we'll see. It could be a myriad of guys. So, yeah.
How reticent are you to mess with that bullpen, though? Because those guys have been doing so good in these roles. They really seem to have adapted to them. I know you don't have to take any one of those guys out to maybe fill a spot, but
we won't. I mean, we're going to. The beauty of that bullpen is the fact that all of those guys have started in their career, and have done it as late as January or even earlier in the season, and so we're going to get through the first two games. We're going to try to win and do whatever we got to do, use whoever we got to use to try to, win those games. And then when the dust settles, we're going to look at Sunday.
That worked last weekend. Is that
it did.
Give you more confidence and kind of going that route you have to?
It does. I mean, these guys are obviously, their starting pitching is wow. I just finished, breaking down their arm. Their starters. I hadn't got to their pen yet. But, their starters are really, really good. And you got to get to them early, and so it's going to be a fight. So that's why it's kind of like I don't want to save anybody back. If we get a chance to get one of their starters, get them out there and get that win, we're going to do it.
What makes them good, the starters?
They got velocity, they got stuff, they got they got it all. I mean, they're different. They're all three different. You got King, who's got two fastballs. It's got a really, really tight cutter. Slider, turns it into a slider at times. He commands it really well. Peterson, obviously, is projected to be a top 10 pick in the country. Big arm, big breaking ball, big slider changeup. And then the guy on Sunday's huge run, slider, and a really, really good change.
So it sounds like they're flipping Peterson to Saturday. Another big challenge for Dylan, who had one last week and came through okay.
No, that's fine. I mean, who knows why they're doing what they're doing. We knew we were going to have to face all three of them anyway, so what the order doesn't matter. You got to face them all anyway. So you just look at it, and we'll be ready for King on Friday.
I want to ask you about Shaggy real quick. His home runs, I have to go back and look, but it seems like so many of them have been from the seventh inning on. He had two just huge clutch ones this past weekend. What's it take to kind of come up and come through that type of deal?
And you look, I mean, like the young man who threw for state last weekend. I mean, sometimes it takes you just watching the game, seeing how they're attacking hitters, and there's times when you're facing a guy who's that good, like you got to go set on a pitch. And if you get it, you can't miss it. And Michael had come up to us in that specific instance and was looking at me and Coach Coggin before his at bat and said, "Hey, I think he's going to give me a heater right here." And we said, "Good." And so, go do it. And he did, and got it, and he got a swing off. So sometimes it takes a little time. You're watching the game, you're seeing how they're attacking your players. And then your plan may change a little bit.
Is there a different mindset when you're a team that's now enjoying success? You're ranked number 4 in the country. You're now other teams are pointing to, whereas maybe recently, a couple of weeks ago, people, this is a good team, but now you're kind of getting a different level. Is that a different kind of? I mean, playing as I know you always play as a winner, but you know what I'm trying to say with that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I hope our guys just come out more focused, and it's kind of, I use the football analogy a lot. It's about the only time I think our game in football crossed, but Kirby's got Alabama week 4, and he beats them week 4, and he's still got Texas and Ole Miss and whoever else that's good that year, right, on the schedule in weeks 6, 8, and 10. Just because you beat Bama in week 4 doesn't mean a whole lot, right? I mean, you better be ready to play against Texas and Ole Miss and whoever else is good, right? And that's kind of where we're at. I mean, you had a good weekend on the road, and that's good. And you draw a lot from that, and you're able to talk about all the positives and the things you got to get better at. But at the same time, you better remember we got 6 of these things left, and they can turn around really fast.
You mentioned Kirby. I know you also sports, the program very well. What does that mean? Has he ever come out and spoke to the team before?
I hadn't spoken to the team, but no, I mean, I think Kirby, I've said this for a long time. I mean, one of the things that makes this place special is you've got a football coach who's had as much success as he's had, and he doesn't just support us, he supports everything. You see him at basketball games, you see him here, you see him at all our sports, and that says a lot, man. I mean, because nobody'd ever say a word if he didn't show up, right, either, right? I mean, because he's working over there. But I think just the support in general for athletics at Georgia and how he wants everything at Georgia to have success speaks a lot to Kirby.
We've heard the story of Colby and Slate, but how much does he help you in terms of that recruiting?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's good. I mean, if we ever need him, I mean, if he's available, he's got his too. Yeah, I mean, that's just a good resource to have. You got to realize some players come and they don't care one thing about football. So, I mean, for them, and then I'd go, hey, man, let's go see Kirby. They'd be like, whatever. They just football's not why they're making a decision or anything of that nature. So it helps when we need it to help.
Wes, what's your philosophy of closing out games, having a designated closer? Is this year unique in terms of how you do that?
No, I mean, you can go back. You can look at my time with Minnesota in the big leagues. We didn't have a designated closer. I guess, gosh, now I'm trying to think. All my years of coaching college baseball, I've had 2 designated closers. And then even when I was coaching in Major League Baseball, we didn't have a designated closer. So I think this. I think when the game's on the line or you're leading, and no matter what inning it is, you better find a way to get your best people in the game, because if not, you could get to the 9th and your closer doesn't even get up because the other guys have given the lead up. So it's like, put your best guys in when you can, and hopefully you can expand your lead. And if you can't, then you at least know you put the guys in the game at that point in time to hold the score where it is.
And to follow up on that just a little bit, I mean, Matt and Caden and Justin are showing now they can be a 2-time a weekend, pitcher. I know it does a lot depending on the pitch counts and everything, but how comfortable are you with those guys to be able to do that every weekend?
You don't want them to do it.
Yeah, you don't want them to.
It's
but
funny.
if they have to.
There's some pro teams here today, and I was talking to them. In 2019, I had the best bullpen in all of Major League Baseball, and there's a downfall to that. When you get to the playoffs, because you got the best bullpen in the league, it means they're tired. It means you use your guys a lot. Now, don't get me wrong, you can have the best bullpen in the league and not use them a ton. So, your goal is hopefully you don't have to use them multiple times, but we know they can do it, and we'll do it whenever we need to. But hopefully we don't have to.
For one more for Coach.
Coach, obviously we've been talking about football. Obviously they thrive on having a lot of depth. You guys have a lot of depth, and you guys use those guys in the middle of games sometimes. How does that help you guys kind of stay focused and locked in? Is it like you have 12 other coaches over here watching the game? No,
it's beautiful, and that's where I talked to some people earlier this week, and I said, that's a tribute to our players, man, and understanding that their number can be called in a meaningful game, in the 5th inning, and they've been over here, and if they're not watching the game, it can get them, and so our guys, luckily, they stay engaged, they're watching, they know that they can get called on at any time, and when we have, knock on wood, we'll continue. They've had some success. So,
Thank you.
Thank you.